How's it going, everybody? My name is Jason. For those of you that don't know, I used to have a channel here on YouTube called Beyond the Realms page, and it's a page that I love doing. I had a lot of fun doing it, but there came a time where I needed to just shut it down and step away for a little while. Beyond the Realms is always meant to be like a collaborative channel, and it was for the most part, but it didn't really turn out how I envisioned it to be. So I decided to call today on that channel, and there's also some personal reasons too. I just needed to step away for a while, and I figured now I would come back, and from here on out, all the stuff I do will be right here on this channel. I don't know how much I'm going to get back into it right off the bat. I don't know. It may be a lot, it may be a little, I don't know. But today, I'm coming back with a review that I feel is definitely one to pull me out of the reviewing grave, I guess you could say, to be revived as a zombie, because the movie I'm reviewing will be zombie. Oh yes, definitely indeed. Amazing. Lucio Fulci, one of his many classics, has come to high definition Blu-ray. And also I gotta mention too, here's some music playing here in the background, courtesy of Where She Wept. My buddy here on YouTube, Headbanger, at Horror's Ball, he's the vocalist in this band. They're really badass, I guess you could say doom metal, just dark, sludgy, it's awesome. It's dark shit. I love it. I really love it a lot. But yeah, I guess I'll get to the review, guys. I'm just kind of winging this, no really set way of doing it. And also I gotta say, I'm doing this with my iPhone. I'm doing it with a front-facing camera, so it's not in high def. And I can only upload it from my phone because my computer, the gigabytes has been so low, I can't even put a video on there and edit it. So this is, if this goes, my fucking phone only lets me upload 15 minutes too. I've got unlimited on YouTube, but it will only let me upload 15 minutes. So if this gets to the end, or if I get to 15 minutes and I'm not done, I'll just do this in two parts, I guess, because I have a feeling this is going to be a rambling review. And plus, I've got the brew going on too. Trying out a new brew. Sorry I'm wasting so much time before I get to this. However the hell you pronounce that. Knag Ludwig Wisbreyer. It's a Royal Bavarian Hefeweizen. Drinking royal beer. So yeah, without wasting any more of your precious time, I'll get to the zombie review now. As far as the story goes, I'm sure almost everybody out there watching this knows it. If you don't, it's, basically a yacht shows up in New York, abandoned, and they don't know where it came from, and this reporter, Peter West, played by Ian McCulloch, is put on the job to find out about it. The police question a woman named Ann Bowles because it's her husband, or her father's boat. And they find a note saying he was in Matul, he's doing experiments, he came down with some type of disease or something. So they find a couple to take them to Matul to find her father, and of course it's a big zombie outbreak on the island, and all hell breaks loose from there. That's pretty much the story in a nutshell. I just absolutely love this film. I mean, to me, there's no question. It's one of the best, if not the best, zombie film ever made. I mean, for several reasons. And this was the film that really broke Fulci into the horror genre. I mean, he had dabbled in it previously. If you look at like Lizard in a Woman's Skin and Don't Torture a Duckling, For the Apocalypse, I mean, those all have horror elements in them, definitely. But this was his first straight horror film. And, at the time, Fulci was really struggling as a director. He'd been already making films for about 20 years, but his career was really going downhill, and he wasn't sure what direction to take. And when this came along and became a success, it really redefined his career, and actually became came to be the defining moment in his career of doing horror films. But I've always loved the atmosphere in this film. It's just amazing. I mean, that first shot right off the bat of the yacht in New York, and just the way that whole scene goes down, that big fucking zombie on there, and you know, you see right off the bat what you're in for when the zombie comes out and attacks the cop and bites the fucking chunk out of his neck, and it's just gushing blood. I mean, it's like, holy shit, man, it's so visceral, it's so vicious, and the effects just look amazing. I mean, you know right off the bat that you're in for a treat if, you know, you're into horror. And it just continues from there. You know, some people may say that the film is a little slow, you know, until they get to the island of Matul, and, you know, I can understand that. I mean, it works for me all the way through. I mean, it just, I really like the whole story, but some people seem to think that it kind of drags, but, you know, whatever. It's definitely exploitative. I mean, they're you know, when Brian and Al Cliver's character Brian and his girlfriend take Anne and Peter West to Matul, they're out in the boat, and you know, they stop she wants to go swimming, and of course she's got to get totally naked, you know, and it's just a scene definitely to show some tits and ass, and it succeeds well. But you know, that whole scene right there is, in my eyes, one of the most memorable scenes in any film, because, I mean, damn, there's an underwater zombie and shark fight. I mean, holy shit, how are you going to top that? And this isn't no fucking Jaws mechanical bullshit, no CGI bullshit, no, this is a real fucking shark that this guy is wrestling underwater. And, you know, I mean, it's just such a fucking incredible scene to this day. I mean, it's just amazing that nobody got hurt doing that, because, I mean, the shark actually grabs, you know, the guy's arm, prosthetic, of course, and rips it off, and there's blood coming out. I mean, it's an amazing feat that they were able to pull that off how they did. It's just, I love that scene. And then, you know, of course, all of the zombie action at the island is just nuts. I mean, you know, you can just talk about one incredible scene after another. I mean, that's the thing, even people who, you know, don't happen to like this movie, I mean, they have to have at least a scene in this they like. If it's not that scene, it's the eyeball scene where, you know, Olga Carlos gets the splinter through her eye. If it's not that scene, it's the zombie dinner scene where they're all munching on her ass, you know, tearing her apart later. If it's not that, it's the, you know, the zombie on the cover coming up out of the grave and biting the woman in the neck. I mean, there's just so many memorable scenes in this film, and that's probably why it's lasted as long as it has. But, you know, it's also, it's just a great movie, man. And you know, this was the first zombie film to come along to make the zombies look dirty, look like they were coming out, like they just came out of the ground. I mean, up to this point, we'd only really seen, you know, Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, and, you know, none of them were really rotted. In this, man, they're all fucking dirty and just nasty looking, and worms coming out of the fucking eyes and shit. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, to this day, the makeup just looks awesome. You know, in high def, of course, you can see a little bit more of where the prosthetic begins and ends and the makeup and all that, but it's just incredible. So, excuse me, the beer there. Deep breath. I love it. I mean, I give this film a 10 out of 10. There's no question. This fucking movie kicks ass, and if you've never seen this, you need to kick your own ass and go out and buy it. It's phenomenal. So yeah, guys, the movie gets a 10 out of 10 on this. Now, as far as the picture quality goes, those of you who haven't seen my reviews before, I usually cover the picture quality. I don't really go over the audio because I have a surround sound system, but it's not a high-def surround sound system, and, you know, where I live at, I can't really crank it up, so I don't judge that. Unless I can really go all out with it, you know, I'm not going to sit here and give a rating on it just on what's coming off the TV, so I pass on the audio. But the video on this, guys, it's a little uneven. I mean, it's definitely soft at the beginning. Like, the whole movie is a little soft. I think it's just that era of film, you know, and how they were shot at that time, during that time period. But, you know, the thing I'll notice is over the old Shriek Show edition here, this is the same film. It says Zombie 2, but I'm not going to go into all that, but it is the same film. In this, everything is like really bright at the beginning, like overly bright. And I've noticed they fixed that on the Blu-ray. It's like been color corrected to where it looks more accurate. The colors are more darker. It's not so fucking bright. But as the movie goes along, I'd say like within the first 20 minutes or so, it gets better. I mean, there's a more sharpness to it, just better definition in general. It's, you know, it's a 30-year-old film, so I mean, it's only going to look as good as it possibly can. You know, it's not going to be fucking excellent, but I thought it was good. I would give the picture a 7 out of 10, which, you know, that's a pretty damn good rating considering, you know, such a low-budget Italian film from '79. You know, the extras on this disc or on this Blu-ray are just, I mean, they're crazy too. It's just got a shitload, man. And the thing that's cool about it is the extras on this are different than what they had on this 25th anniversary edition. This has a really good, like, 90-minute documentary making of, I believe. On this one, they're all new. The commentary, I think the commentary carried over from this. Ian McCulloch, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's the same commentary, and I did actually watch the commentary on this. That's something I rarely do before I do a review, but I did watch it with the commentary also. I'll just start off with the commentary here, and then I'll go into the rest of the extras on the second part of this. The commentary, guys, I gotta say I was pretty disappointed. I mean, it was okay, but it seemed like, to me, like Ian McCulloch just... I mean, he talked a little bit, you know, about the movie itself, but he mainly talked about himself, and, like, you know, it was weird because the other guy that was in on this with him, shit, what's his name? Diabolic magazine editor Jason Slater. I mean, they just didn't have a good chemistry between the two. There were several instances where it was just like dead silence, and it'd just be nothing for a while. I mean, there was even a few times like, shit, did it kick off or something? I mean, it seriously, like, would go for several minutes sometimes without him saying anything. And the thing that shocked me the most is this was actually Ian McCulloch's first time seeing the movie. I thought that was a surprise. You know, he'd never even seen the fucking movie before, like, all the way through. So that was pretty amazing. But pretty disappointing commentary, man. I mean, there's a few things here or there where, you know, he gave little anecdotes on the film and stuff, but just not very prepared, or just lack of care on Ian McCulloch's part. I'm not sure which. I'm leaning more towards probably just lack of care. I mean, I just don't think, he just kind of at times comes off like he was kind of embarrassed about it, you know, like he talks about how one of his buddies works for the whoever the fuck it is who bans the films in the UK, used to do the Video Nasties list, and how, you know, he was on 3 of them, and he told his buddy, you'll see me on 3 of them, and his I guess it was his uncle, was very disappointed in him. So, I mean, you can hear kind of like a regret in his voice from it, so, but it is what it is. But just not a very good commentary, guys. You know, hardcore fans, I'd say check it out, but, you know, don't look for anything groundbreaking in it. So, alright guys, I'm going to stop the video here because it's up to 14 minutes, and since my phone's stupid and will only upload 15 minutes at a time, I'll do this in 2 parts. So, I'll come back and we'll go over the rest of the extras on this. Alright.